Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Seattle Area Independent School Virtual College Fair. I'd like to introduce to you really quickly James from the Seattle Area Independent Schools to say a quick note.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Jim Sargent. I am the Associate Director of College Counseling at the Bush School here in Seattle. Just wanted to thank you for being here and welcome you on behalf of all of our partners here, certainly on behalf of my colleagues, Melissa Longtote and Courtney Elop, as well as our friends and colleagues at Rainier Scholars, Annie Wright and Charles Wright, Bush, the Downtown School, Eastside Prep, Forest Ridge, Lakeside, Northwest, Overlake, Seattle Academy, and University Prep. We're thrilled that you took a portion of your Sunday to be here and learn from some of our amazing admissions colleagues and friends with whom you will be in very good hands for the next 45 minutes or so. So thank you so much for being here and good luck and have a great session. Thanks, everyone.
Again, welcome to everyone to the Seattle Area Independent Schools Virtual College Fair. We have a great lineup of institutions for you to hear from this afternoon, but I'd like to do some quick housekeeping items before I turn it over to them. Number one, my name's Courtney and I'm your facilitator tonight. Two, this is a webinar, so your camera and your microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you this afternoon. But we do know that you're going to have some questions, so feel free to use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. Note the institution, college or university that you're directing your question to, and then ask that question. It just makes it easier for them to ask questions. This is a really fun way to learn about multiple schools all at once in 45 minutes, and there's definitely 2 more hours of this afterwards, so sign up for more sessions. We really hope that you enjoy this afternoon's programming. And this is being recorded, and all the sessions that are happening today are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/SAIS. So now I'd like to turn it over to our first institution. You're going to have the opportunity to hear from the University of California, Davis first. Take it away whenever you're ready, Devin.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Devin. Like she said, I'm an admissions analyst and advisor from UC Davis. You should be able to see my screen now. I'm also an alumni from the class of 2015. Excited to share a little bit more about this campus with you guys. So if you don't know anything else about Davis, maybe 1 or 2 things, that we are an amazing ag school, we have an amazing vet school, and we're top ranked in those things, and those are definitely true, but we have so much more to offer than that. You can see we're top ranked for our sustainability. We're also top ranked for diversity, inclusiveness, and internationalization, as well as being an affordable elite institution. We're also ranked 8th amongst top performers on social mobility. We're 12th amongst the top 100 producers of minority bachelor's degrees. And we're ranked 5th nationally amongst public universities and 17th amongst all universities in the US, according to Forbes. So lots of rankings. I always like to start off with that just to give you an idea of some of the strengths and priorities of our campus. We're really committed to supporting our students in a lot of different ways, as you can see, in our community and in fact, the world as well, if you want to look at sustainability and internationalization. But we're a lot more than just numbers. We have an amazing location. We are one of 9 UC campuses. We are the northernmost campus, and we have the largest campus with over 5,300 acres. You can see we're right outside Sacramento, which is right near the airport, which is really handy. We're also not far from Napa, the Bay Area. So if you want to go to San Francisco or Oakland, it's an 1 to 2 hour drive, depending on traffic. We're also not far from Lake Tahoe, Yosemite, and then you can see LA and San Diego. Those SoCal hotspots are a little farther away, but we're right in the middle of everything in Northern California, which is really awesome. We do have some affiliate locations as well. So outside of our 5,300 acre campus, we also have the UC Davis Medical Center. So that's going to be in Sacramento. So for students interested in research, internships, things like that in health science fields, a lot of opportunities for that those hands-on research opportunities. We're also close to the state capitol, giving students interested in political science or who want to get internships in public service, policymaking, lobbying, etc. There's lots of firsthand experiences there. We also have our Lake Tahoe Environmental Institute and our Bodega Bay Marine Laboratory, which there's cutting edge, amazing research happening with opportunities for undergrads to do research there as well. We have a residential program over the summer at the Bodega Bay Marine Laboratory. So even though we're not necessarily right on the water, there are lots of opportunities for students to attend our affiliate location to get those hands-on opportunities. So you're hearing me say hands-on a lot because that's a really big part of the experience. We are a research institution, so creating knowledge and giving students the opportunity to build and contribute to that is a really big part of our identity and our culture. And we do that in a lot of different fields. So I know, like I said, we're top ranked for agriculture and animal science and things of that nature, but we have over 100 majors and 4 different colleges to really provide a really robust offering of types of fields of study. So we have our College of Engineering, which has over 15 different majors. Our College of Biological Science, which is really popular for students interested in various medical fields. We have our College of Ag and Environmental Science, kind of our original claim to fame, where kind of our most unique majors are held. And then last but not least, our largest college with over 50 majors is the College of Letters and Science. And that's going to be very similar to a liberal arts college with everything from arts and humanities to social sciences and then those physical sciences as well. We also do offer undeclared options for incoming first-year students. So if you're not sure what you want to study and you're not sure what you want your major to be, that's totally fine. We have multiple undeclared options for you as well in the admissions process. And the last thing I love about Davis is the fact that we are a cute little college town. About half the population of the town is students. So we have about 35,000 students if you include graduate students, and the town has less than 70,000 residents. So literally half the people that are around are students. That really contributes to that student experience and that feel of being an undergraduate student. You can see the downtown Davis area is right next to the campus, and we have an open campus. So we have the community that can take advantage of our beautiful quad, and we have all these great restaurants and cafes and little shops and things right in the downtown area, in addition to our nationally ranked farmers market. We are kind of in a great ag area, and we do take advantage of that with our amazing farmers market. In terms of admission, all of the UC campuses have the same minimum requirements, and we use the same selection criteria. You can see that we're looking for what's called the A through G subject requirements. That's going to be for mostly California students. I encourage you to check out the UC website to get a better feel of what that means. But ultimately, it's just a kind of the A through G stand for various different subject areas: history, English, math, etc. And we're looking for a certain number of years in each of those categories. We're also looking for a 3.4 GPA for eligibility, but do keep in mind, we will review every application we receive, regardless of if they meet eligibility or not. And we are test free, so the entire UC system does not consider the SAT or ACT for admission selection. If you take it, you can include it in the application, but we will not see it when we evaluate your application. And then if you look on the left, you can see our admitted student profile. The admit rate was about 49% for our most recent class starting school this week. We are on a quarter system. We start a little bit later. And then you can see the middle 50% ranges for the weighted and unweighted GPAs as well. And if you want more statistics, you can see those on the admissions website. Here's a quick look at the admissions timeline for the UC. This is going to be pretty much for all UC campuses that you apply to. We do have the same application for all 9 UC campuses, which is really handy. But you will select which campuses you're interested in, and you'll have to pay per campus you apply to. So the application is open now. It's due in November, and we notify students in March. And if you want to learn more, here are some great links for you. I'll share a few of those in the chat, as well as my contact information. I'm the rep for the Pacific Northwest area. Like I said, my name's Devin, and thanks for listening.
Devin, thank you so much to you and the University of California, Davis. Audience, don't forget, you can put those questions in the Q&A at the bottom. Just don't forget to note the college or university that you're directing your questions to. Next up, I have the pleasure of introducing to you William and Mary. Christian, take it away whenever you're ready.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Burnett, and I am the Regional Dean from William & Mary for California. Hopefully you all can see our beautiful Wren building there. That is the oldest academic building still in use in America. You know, figures like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, or my personal favorite William & Mary alumni, Glenn Close. They've all taken classes in this building. And in fact, one of my favorite campus traditions happens here. At the start of every school year, you know, all of our new students, our new transfers, our new freshmen, they all sit and gather outside of this building. And then the alma mater starts to play after the university president welcomes everyone to campus. And they all get up, proceed right through those doors that you see in the middle of that picture. And waiting for them in this courtyard, waiting for them across our entire quad, is all of our upperclassmen students. And they're all holding signs just like this one that say, "You belong, welcome home." You know, William & Mary is an extremely collaborative community. It's a place where students are encouraged to be interdisciplinary, and multifaceted. Now I am taking you from, UC Davis, one side of the country, all the way over back to this side. So I'm joining you from the Eastern Standard Time Zone, but thank you for having me. And here you can see just some fast facts about William & Mary. We are the second oldest institution of higher learning in America. Technically, we go back and forth with Harvard on who was first, but Harvard. No, just kidding. We're happy to share those historic ties with them. And a little bit about where we're located. So yes, we are in the state of Virginia, the Commonwealth. We're in the southeastern corner. We're about an hour and a half or so away from Virginia Beach, about an hour from Richmond, the capital of Virginia. And then we always joke that we're either 2 hours or 12 hours from Washington, D.C. But I know you all West Coasters understand some severe traffic. Now, a little bit more that you can see here, we are a public institution, meaning we have certain numbers mandated to us by the state of Virginia. And one of those is our in-state to out-of-state ratio. So of those, about 6,400 undergraduate students, undergraduate students, about 2/3 of them are going to be Virginia residents. Now, that being said, when I read your applications, when I learn all about you, I'm not going to be holding California residents to a super crazy standard or anything like that, or any West Coast applicants to a crazy standard. But I am going to be looking at a lot of different pieces of that application process. At William & Mary, you're not just an academic summary, you're not just a GPA. We're looking for well-rounded students interested in all sorts of different areas. As you can see here, we have over 500 clubs and organizations, which for an institution of about 6,500 is absolutely insane. Whether you want to get involved in Greek life, we're about 28% Greek, or maybe you want to join one of our special interest groups like the Cheese Club, which actually we have multiple cheese clubs on campus because William & Mary students just can't decide. This is an extremely authentic campus. This is a place where students really feel like they can be themselves, whether they want to be biology majors and fill all of their electives with dance, or whether they want to do, English as a second language teaching outside in the classroom, in one of our clubs and organizations, while also pursuing a chemistry major. Again, this is a place where all students are really able to come together and support one another. As you see here, we are a Division I school, so whether you are out in the classroom or out doing some sort of philanthropic event, you can also kick back and enjoy some really awesome tribe athletics, whether that's football, basketball. A lot of our students like to go and support and hang out at those events as well. Now, just a little bit about academic life at William & Mary. We are a liberal arts institution, so all students, regardless of major, have to take some of these kind of core curriculum classes, and those include things like math, science, history, foreign languages, maybe a little bit in the arts or in literature. Again, we want you to be the most employable, most well-rounded student that you can be. And with that liberal arts, that's also where you're able to really explore. We never pigeonhole our students into one academic discipline or into one college. You're always able to take courses in whatever discipline you might find interesting. And my favorite thing about William & Mary academics is that our students don't declare their majors until the second semester of your sophomore year. This really gives you plenty of time to explore, try out different majors or minors, maybe see what works best for you. Now, as you can see here, our students are heavily involved outside of the classroom. That could be study abroad, where we send about 68% of our students somewhere before they graduate. That could be a semester in Berlin, or maybe you want to do a whole year in Tokyo, or just a couple of weeks in Antarctica. We can send you to all 7 continents, and you can do that both for your major or for that liberal arts curriculum as well. And then also you'll see research. William & Mary is a premier research institution. It's not just graduate students getting involved in those areas, that's students in all disciplines in all years. We have some first semester freshmen that are actually getting published in research. So if that's something you might be interested in, this is a great place for you to do so. Now, just some facts and figures about that application process. Here you can see some mid-50th percentiles. But what I want you to keep in mind is that William & Mary is test optional. That means, if you did not have access to the SAT or the ACT, or if you did not feel comfortable, taking those tests or affording those tests, that is a-okay. You are going to be equally considered for both admission and scholarship, regardless of submitting a test score. Again, we understand that not everyone has access to those tests, and we certainly won't hold that against you. Now, some other things that you might want to note about our application process. We also, am I going over, Courtney?
Yes, I'm sorry that 6 minutes goes by really, really fast.
You're good. I was just going to say, we do offer early decision and regular decision, no early action. Sorry about that, Courtney.
That's okay. That's okay. Audience, make sure you put those questions in the Q&A if you have any questions for Christian, and I'm sure he'll drop his contact information in the chat. Next up, I have the opportunity of introducing to you Yale University. Take it away whenever you're ready.
Hello, thank you so much, Courtney. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Hopefully that works. Here we go. So thank you all for joining us today. My name is Marty, and I am an assistant director at Yale University in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. And I'm also originally from Auburn, Washington, which is the home of Sir Mix-a-Lot. So I'm very happy to be traveling virtually home to you all today. And so capturing everything about Yale in only a few minutes is virtually impossible, but we gave it some thought over in our office, and we came up with something very concise. Yale is and. And besides not sounding the most beautifully grammatically correct, I think that this really captures Yale well. So when you're thinking about colleges to apply to, you often think about things in terms of ors. Do you want a big college or a small college? Do you want to go to college in a more urban environment or a rural or even suburban environment? Do you want to go to a school that allows you to focus on just one thing or multiple different things? And these are all things that you should definitely be thinking about when you're applying to schools. But at Yale, we really like to embrace this philosophy of and. So take, for instance, our home city of New Haven, Connecticut. And before I talk about New Haven, I do want to acknowledge that New Haven and Yale currently occupy the native land, Quinnipiac lands. So I highly encourage that if you haven't already to do some research about the native lands that you're occupying. And pivoting back to New Haven, it's really an and city. So when you're living in New Haven, you're getting both the best of a big city and a college town. Very Hannah Montana, best of both worlds. Yale's campus is located right in the heart of downtown New Haven. It's a mid-sized city, but it's also got a booming arts and cultural scene, 2 Tony Award-winning theaters, an international arts and ideas festival that happens every summer, and the second largest collection of free public art of any US city. It's also got great food, which is definitely one of my favorite reasons why I love living here in New Haven. And at the last census, New Haven was the fastest growing city in the Northeast. It's located less than 2 hours away by train from Boston or New York. And I like to say that you can never get bored in New Haven because there's always something going on, whether it's an ice sculpture carving in the winter, chalk drawing competitions in the spring. And it's not just a city, it's also not a short walk away from a place called East Rock, which is this really cool park where students hike and bike and run and climb. And coming from Seattle myself, I will also say that I was very nervous to go far away for school, but really I've been able to make New Haven my home and find things that remind me of my own roots here in Washington, whether it's from yummy coffee shops to hikes at East Rock, like I mentioned, or just the family and the people that are formed in the Yale community. So moving on to academics, Yale is an and university, which really combines all the best things of a research university and a liberal arts college. The scholarship that's happening at Yale, like all of the universities in this presentation, is of course world-class. So Yale has over 1,200 labs that students are participating in, more than 2,000 courses, and 95% of students are majoring in science or engineering. They also pursue research by the time that they graduate, and 2/3 of students in the social sciences and humanities also do research in those labs. All Yale undergraduates are also enrolled in the unified liberal arts college called Yale College, and no one is required to declare a major until the end of their sophomore year. And they can change it as many times as they want to as well. So one of our student employees who work in our office actually changed his major 6 times. And the funny part is that he actually started and ended with the same major. So definitely it's flexible, and a major only takes up about a third of a student's course load. So there is no core curriculum that Yale students have to take. So they get really a lot of flexibility to choose their own classes as well. Students get opportunities to explore, double major, change their major, do research, study abroad, or even pursue pre-law or pre-med tracks if they like as well. Outside of the classroom, students are also living and learning together. You may remember I said that Yale students are enrolled in Yale College, which houses our 80+ majors, but also Yaleys are constantly referring to their residential college. And this gets a little confusing at first, but it's a really cool way that our students love to live and learn. Every Yale student is a member of one of Yale's 14 residential colleges. They are randomly assigned, and those colleges, from their first year to their senior year, that is where they live. It's kind of like a Hogwarts house. So each college has its own independent living spaces. Students live in suites that surround a centralized courtyard, and every college has its own dining hall, common room, library, gyms, music practice rooms, dance studios, etc. So the colleges are not connected to any major or academic department, but they are all about living and learning and diversity and community. There are 2 faculty members who lead each college. There's a head of college and a dean. And there are also many other staff or faculty who are affiliated with the college and meet students for lunch or advise students on different things, give talks or run events. So it is really just a great community. And if you ask any Yale student, they will tell you that their own residential college is the best one. So I can tell you that my own college, Ezra Stiles, was my favorite college and is the best at Yale. But that is all just to say that they become a very important part of your experience on campus. And so the final and quality that I'll leave you with is Yale's combination of tradition and innovation. We like to say in our office that Yale is old, but it's not old-fashioned. Every student class reinvents the university in its own way. So I'll just leave you with this image of all these different fun hats that students are wearing as they graduate. And I'll remind you just to remember that thinking about things in terms of ands in your residential college or in your college application process is going to be something that's hopefully helpful for you. So I'll go ahead and drop some more links in the chat, and please reach out if you have questions in the Q&A. We are offering lots of different student information sessions throughout the week that you can attend virtually, and I really appreciate the time. So thank you, Courtney. I'll pass it back to you.
Thanks, Marty, to you and Yale University. Wow, we've already heard from 3 great institutions, but we still have 3 great ones to go. So next up, you're going to have the opportunity to hear from Davidson College. Leah, take it away whenever you're ready.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Lee Hoffman. I'm an Associate Dean of Admission here at Davidson College. Not an alum, but been here for 7 years, so I'm an adopted Wildcat. But I'm going to share my screen really quickly, and then we'll have our fast and furious 6 minutes. So hopefully you can see that.
Looking great.
Awesome. Now my Zoom screen's gone away. Awesome, we're back. Cool, so I'm not gonna list off a ton of fast facts because you all are very good at using Google. So I will leave that to your heart's desire of what you wanna know for numbers and things like that. But what I wanna dive on and try and spend most of my time doing is talking about what type of student comes to Davidson and enjoys it, what attracts people here. This is a really cool little special place. So quick lay of the land as far as where Davidson is. You know, we are a small college, small town, just under 2,000 students, all undergraduate, located about 20 miles north of Charlotte, North Carolina. So 30 minutes from the airport, 30 minutes from big city activities. The Panthers are playing about 4 blocks from my house right now. So I don't live in Davidson, but really close by. So you get the big city amenities. You get to come home in a place that looks like the picture behind me, where you can roll out of bed and walk to class in 5 minutes, throw a hammock up between some trees, have a cute little downtown that's all about you. So the community is the really special thing about Davidson. It's really intentional. People are kind, people care about each other. That's both academically and personally. And one of the things that underpins that is our honor code. So a lot of places have honor codes. Davidson really takes theirs to another level in the sense that it's something that students live and breathe on a day-to-day basis. There's some really tangible benefits, like most tests are unproctored. So you do them on your own time over the course of several days. A professor might give you 4 or 5 days and say, bring it back on Tuesday and don't use your notes and take an hour. Or they might say unlimited time and no notes. Our students self-schedule their finals. Socially, our students leave their crap all over campus. And I used to make fun of them for it, but I left my water bottle on campus last weekend and came back after the weekend and it was still there. So big fan of the honor code here. And it really works because there's this shared bond. After working with students for so many years, I've realized that the kind of common thread is that students really lead with that sense of integrity. That's a common core value. And then the main thing that makes it work is there's the expectation of everyone else around them holding it up. And that transitions into the classroom. So again, we're all undergraduates, you're taught by full professors. If you're the type of student that wants to be known by professors, you want to be known as a student for your individual interests. You want to be able to take an idea or a project or research and run with it. Or maybe you want that really strong mentorship, no matter if you have no idea what you want to do, or you know exactly what you want to do. The liberal arts will serve you well either way for that, but they're going to work with you both in the classroom, but also then to bolster that experience with research, with study abroad, with internships. We have fantastic resources at Davidson. The students like to joke and say, I have this idea, how do I make Davidson pay for it? And so, you know, going into, there's my screen moving, you know, faculty support, experiential learning, awesome opportunities for students. And again, because there's no grad students on campus, our undergrad students are taking on the lead for a lot of those things. But our students don't spend all of their time in the classroom. They are incredibly engaged outside the classroom as well too. So our students have over 200 clubs and that's growing and counting. So one of the newest ones this past year during the pandemic, our students were on campus if they wanted to be, so most elected to. But we had a group of students create wild crafts. So like a little play on the Wildcats, which is our mascot. The one holding up the sign here is actually one of those students that helped create it, but they were able to ship craft kits to other Davidson students and now people outside the community to help give them something to do, a way to bond during the pandemic, right? We are Division I athletic schools. That's pretty unique. You get some big school spirit, but it's also your roommate who is Division I basketball player or diver, and great support for the arts as well too. So no requirement to be an art student, but you can still participate in those areas. A couple other things I'd like to point out about our students is one of my favorite things about them is they come to Davidson and they don't see it as a static place, but they see it as a place where they're valued, where their voice is heard, and they change it. So our campus has changed physically, clubs have changed, organizations have changed, the way space is used on campus has changed since I've been here because our students care really deeply, again, going to that sense of community. They want to make Davidson better for the students that come after them because they know this place isn't perfect, but it's really dang good in this fact that it listens and grows with its students. A couple other quick things to add, a little bit about the application. I'll highlight some things, but one thing I will point out is we're one of the few schools in the country that meet 100% of calculated need. We do that with a 10-hour-a-week work study and fulfill the rest with grants and scholarships, so we don't package loans, and we're need blind for U.S. citizens and permanent residents. So Davidson can be incredibly affordable for a lot of students. We are test optional, and when I say optional, I mean optional. It's never been a big part of our process, or really didn't change our reading process when we dropped it, so don't worry about that. And we do have a couple different supplements, but we're doing the holistic review. We're looking for fit at Davidson. When I'm reading your application, and it will be me, if you apply from your area, I'm your person, and I'll drop my contact information in just a moment. But know that I will help you through that process. I will get to know you. And a couple quick things that we do ask for that are kind of unique. One, a peer recommendation. And two, we do have a supplement where we're going to ask you, why specifically are you interested in Davidson? And then also tell us something you're interested in. So we've changed that in past years. So if you looked earlier this spring or ever before, it's a completely different set of supplements. Finally, what I really want to plug is knowing that we're very limited today, but we have lots of time coming up this fall. We have a Discover Davidson series coming up in the next few weeks. And it'll be every Thursday through the month of October, but opportunities to do panels with professors and students on things like pre-med, arts. We have an experiential learning that's going to highlight student research. So we have some really massive research going on campus right now. And also our Mission Intensive series that actually helps work you through the application process. Tomorrow night is Essays 201 Brainstorming. That one is a favorite. So join us at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm getting kicked off, but I will drop links for all of that in the chat, and hope to see some of you all in visits and Zooms coming up soon.
Leah, thank you so much to you and Davidson College. Next up, I have the pleasure of introducing the University of Pacific. Take it away, Stephanie, whenever you're ready. You are on mute.
How's that? Is the screen there?
Not yet, but I'll let you know.
Not
when
yet.
it's there.
Okay. We are back to that. Let's just take a look. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Here we are. Practicing didn't work, right?
Looking good. We're and I'm sure you can make it full screen here in a second.
Let's see. How's that?
Great.
Awesome. Perfect. Oh, there we are. Is that good?
Yep, you're all set.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. All right. My name is Stephanie Azarkan. I am the local, very local. I live in the wonderful town of Renton, Washington, and I am your regional admissions counselor for University of the Pacific. So as Leah mentioned, we are quick and fast and furious, going to run through this as quick as we can. I do work on campus and at home, so I'm very local. If you have meetings, you want to have a coffee chat, you want to Zoom, definitely make sure to connect with me as well. I'm a very proud Renton High School graduate, so I'm very local and interested in sharing my experiences with Stockton. I'm married to a Stockton native. So University of the Pacific is the first chartered institution in California, and we started in 1851. Also a very fun Jeopardy fact, we were the first institution to go co-ed and offer education to women as well. And we offer the oldest music conservatory west of the Mississippi. So just some fun Jeopardy facts for you, just in case you need those one day. We do have 3 total campuses. We have the McGeorge School of Law and a few other programs located in Sacramento, which is a great airport to fly out of from SeaTac and arrive and head down to the Stockton campus. And then the San Francisco campus is home to our Dagoni School of Dentistry there. So yes, we have 3 campuses, but mainly you're going to be talking with me about the Stockton campus and your undergraduate experience there. Home to just about 3,600 undergraduate students there in Stockton, a total of nearly 6,000 students with our graduate and professional programs. University of the Pacific really offers that classic college vibe in Northern California. If you're looking for a campus that's walkable, bikeable, scooterable, if you want to use that word as well, you can. We have about 175 acres that will welcome you with open arms. And we definitely, even though we are in Northern California, we do have fall, we have the 4 seasons, we have great weather for those of us from the Seattle area. It's definitely a great location, not a bad flight, not a bad drive, but our location itself is very picturesque. Our campus has actually been home to 17 different movies. Most importantly, you probably know All the King's Men, Flubber, the Indiana Jones series have all been taped there. So it is very green, it is very pretty, and it's very walkable. The last few times I've been there, all I have seen is families, dogs, and Pokemon players. So a very popular location for our community members, but also our faculty, staff, and students. Some quick facts to go over. The ones I like to share, that new incoming class, just over 1,000 students. We're very proud on our talk on return on investment, why investing in a degree at Pacific will pay off for you on long term. 91% of our 2020 graduates that responded to our survey are employed, graduate school, internships, serving in the military, working in a service organization. Also very new numbers, number 18 best universities in the West, top 12% of best universities in the nation. Down below, some of the fun student life facts, and I have some slides on that as well. 17 D1 sports, 150 different clubs ranging from anime to badminton. One of the ones I love is very active right now is Active Minds, a mental health club on campus. So the student life on our campus is robust, it's active, and that number is a very large number for such a small undergraduate population there. So there's definitely the opportunity to live on campus at Pacific, but there's also the opportunity to talk real quick about all of our majors. Pre-dental advantage, pre-pharmacy advantage. Those programs offer students the opportunity to come to Pacific, spend their undergraduate years with us and their graduate years in a 5, 6, or 7-year opportunity. We also have, like I talked about, music, jazz studies, music composition. We have a recording label on campus. Our one non-addition major in music industry studies is popular. Also our business program, sport management in the Eberhardt School of Business. Those students get real life experience trading money in the stock market. So who fits in at Pacific? I would say a hands-on learner, the student that is looking for a specific major, but also wants to have flexibility. You're gonna be a student that would do well at Pacific. You have opportunities for advanced studies, study abroad opportunities, but also research. Over 75% of our students are active in research on campus. Very small class approach, meaning our faculty and staff, our professors will know you. They'll know your name. They'll know your end result, what you're looking for there. So I share that because I went to a small private school in Rhode Island to get far away from home. I wanted that class approach where my faculty and staff knew my name. They knew my passions and what I'm looking for afterwards. And that is what Pacific has to offer students for sure. I know you're moving away from home being a Washingtonian. So yes, we do have housing. Freshmen and sophomores will live on campus. We have apartment style, we have quad style, we have Greek housing, international, honors housing as well to go with our PAL honors programs, our legal honors programs, and our humanities scholars. So we have all of those options. I would be more than happy to go over those individually with you for sure. But I want to point out we do have multiple housing options for those of us moving away from home. We talked about clubs and experiences, as well as sports and clubs and activities. We play in the West Coast Conference. We just had 6 athletes participate in the Olympics: water polo, swimming, tennis. Ladies soccer is having a great season right now. If you have a chance, take a peek at UOP Admission on Instagram, lots of helpful information. If you don't want to play a sport, but you want to be active, we had a 1,000,000 step challenge last year. That was fun. We got to participate in that virtually. We have Tiger Escapes. They go off to different places throughout Northern California. We also have the Tiger X fitness programs. Everything you do at home, you'll be able to do on campus for sure. Even a 36-foot rock climbing wall is located at the Bond Fitness Center there. So how to apply? Pre-dental, pre-farm, those are true November 15th deadlines. Regular application January 15th. You can jump on the Common App when you're ready. And as a quick reminder, we are hosting our first open house since COVID. So October 16th, come on down to Northern California if you want to visit us. If not, do our virtual tour online. I will drop those links there. You can find our app on the Common App. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, Stephanie, to you and the University of the Pacific. Our final presentation today will be from Hamilton College. Take it away, Eric, whenever you're ready.
All right, thanks, Courtney. Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Bedonia. I'm one of the Assistant Deans of Admission at Hamilton College. I read for 22 different states, including the great state of Washington. And fun fact about me, it's actually my birthday today. So what better way than to talk about Hamilton College with all these great students and people coming from everywhere. So I'm super excited to start talking about this institution, how unique it is, how distinctive it is, and how special it is. I first like to talk about Hamilton through its motto. So here at Hamilton College, we have a motto that is know thyself. Whoa. As a 16, 17, 18-year-old, is Hamilton asking you to know who you are and all of who you are? That's not what we're saying. Essentially, we're looking for curious learners. We're looking for students who are excited to be on that journey for self-exploration. And so we make this, or we see this motto through 3 promises that we make to every single student. Promise number 1, study what you love. Promise number 2, be who you are. And promise number 3, find your future. So let's get this party started. Promise number 1, study what you love. At Hamilton College, so many students come to campus knowing that they want to be a doctor, so they want to study biology, or they want to be a lawyer, so they want to study history. But I know way more students who have no idea what they want to study, and Hamilton is a great space for either of those students because of our open curriculum. So what does that mean? An open curriculum means that there are no core classes and there are no distributional requirements that every student has to fulfill by the time they graduate. So that means every single class that you take at Hamilton is a course that you have chosen yourself. And because we are a school of only 2,000 students, that means you're finding yourself in spaces that are small, that are intimate, but every single student within those classes has also chosen to be in that space. So unlike high school, where you find yourself amongst peers who may or may not be interested in the course material, every single class you take at Hamilton is going to be one that's engaging, one that has discussions that are captivating, and classes that are generally more fun. We have over 57 areas of study at Hamilton College, and so students can often double major or have multiple minors. Students are very multifaceted in their academic endeavors and the things that they want to pursue on campus. Before you step foot onto campus, you're assigned not 1, not 2, but 3 different advisors. You have an academic advisor, a career advisor, and an ALEX advisor. ALEX, as in Alexander Hamilton, is an acronym that stands for Advise, Learning, Experience. And this is actually a new advising system we've started this year. This is going to be your one-stop shop. This is someone who's going to connect you to all the resources on campus, whether that's study abroad, whether that's research, all the good stuff and all the questions that you may have as a college undergraduate throughout your 4 years. Promise number 2, be who you are. At Hamilton, this is a space where you can be totally yourself and also understand that there are different spaces for students to explore the different things that they want to pursue. I mentioned that we're a student population of 2,000 students, and we are a fully residential college, meaning that for all 4 years, 100% of students will be living on campus. So that makes campus almost operate like a small city, right? All of the student life is vibrant and lively, but students often are staying on campus to find community and find different ways to explore campus. We have over 200 clubs and organizations. So if you're doing the math, that's about 1 club for every 10 students, meaning that it's really easy to find students who are interested in the same things or who are going to challenge you to think differently and explore different ventures. Our most popular club is Havoc. That's our Hamilton Association for Volunteering, Outreach, and Charity. And this is our community service organization. So I think community is a core tenet to the culture that we have here on campus. And because we are a small, private, liberal arts college, it's really easy to find community in different spaces. Promise number 3, find your future. We often think about college as 4 years of great experiences inside the classroom, outside of the classroom. What is Hamilton doing to prepare students for life after they graduate? I mentioned that every student has a career advisor, so the Career Center is really instrumental in helping students find those connections and bridge their way into the alumni network, into internship opportunities, into research opportunities. About 98% of students will graduate with at least 1 internship, and 83% will graduate with 2 or more. So it's really easy and also really accessible for students to find those opportunities. I think our alumni network is really quintessential when we think about finding different spaces for students to explore different fields. So I know many students who have told me they were able to land an internship or find a research opportunity on campus because of the alumni network, because of how dedicated, again, Hamiltonians are to the campus, to the community, and to the student body at large. I mentioned that community was a core value, and I think you really see that through each of these promises: study what you love, be who you are, and find your future. To speak a little bit about admissions and financial aid, we do have a holistic review process, and I know everyone uses that word, but essentially what that means at Hamilton is that we will read anything and everything that you send us. So 1, make sure that it's appropriate, but 2, make sure that it's indicative of who you are as a student, as an applicant, and as an individual. We accept 3 different kinds of applications: the common application, the coalition application, and the QuestBridge application. And we do have a couple different rounds of deadlines. We have early decision 1, that's a deadline of November 15th, early decision 2, that's a deadline of January 5th, and then regular decision, which is also a deadline of January 5th. If you don't know what early decision is, essentially it's a binding contract. This is an opportunity for students who have done all their research and know that if they are accepted to Hamilton, they will be calling Hamilton home for the next 4 years. But if that seems a little overwhelming, go ahead and apply regular. There is no secret to whether or not there is an advantage or a disadvantage to applying early. We are test optional. We've been test optional since the start of the pandemic, and will be test optional for at least the next 2 years. I also want to mention that we do have a January admission program, and this is an opportunity for students to start in January as opposed to in the fall. Students who come in through the January admission program will finish their 4 years within 7 semesters. We also have a very generous financial aid policy here at Hamilton. Similar to what Leah was saying about Davidson, Hamilton is also one of those schools, one of those rare schools in the country that meets 100% of demonstrated financial need and is also need blind, meaning that we want to accept the best and brightest of students, regardless of how much you can afford a Hamilton education. And all of our resources are going to the students who need it most. So we're really excited to, again, accept the best, the brightest, and for students who want to be a part of a community that values community as a whole.
Thanks so much, Eric, to you and Hamilton College. I'd now like to invite all of our panelists to turn back on their cameras. And we are going to go round robin in the same order that you presented originally to answer another question. So what would you like students to remember about your college? And we'll start with Devin from UC Davis first.
Absolutely. So it's hard to just boil it down really quickly, but the thing that I would say I want you to remember is that yes, we are an ag school, but we have so much more to offer than that. And we have students that are studying all kinds of things. They come from all kinds of different places. And at the end of the day, we are a really close-knit community, even though we're such a big school. A lot of collaboration, a lot of really friendly people, whether it's our student body, the faculty, or the community members. And the community is a really big part of our identity as well. So if you remember nothing else, I'd say that community vibe and how we have all these different people coming together is a big part of it.
Hello, everyone. So let me start by just saying retweet to everything Devin said about community. But on top of that, you know, I think William & Mary is a place where you never have to choose. You never have to decide between one thing or the other. It's always a place where you can pursue multiple passions, pursue multiple interests. whatever it is you might be thinking about career-wise or education-wise, you'll never have to decide and then stick with that. You can always change your mind or combine and really just take advantage of everything. But don't take my word for it. I'm actually going to put the contact information for a current Griffin ambassador from William & Mary who's from Seattle in the chat. So feel free to reach out to her to get her student perspective as well.
I think I already emphasized the and vibe that we really appreciate here at Yale. So I will also add that something I want you to remember is that Yale is accessible and affordable. I was a low-income student from a single-parent family, miles and miles away from Yale, but actually through generous financial aid that promises to meet 100% of demonstrated financial need, I was able to attend Yale. And I think that opportunity is how a lot of Yale students actually find themselves there in our community. So definitely, I'd say also check out our website for more information about financial aid. And we also accept a lot of the applications that have already been talked about, the Common App, the Coalition, and the QuestBridge application, which is how I applied to Yale. And so as a QuestBridge scholar, you also will have the opportunity for a community and be able to take part in every opportunity that you can.
I think if there's anything you take away about Davidson is one, don't sell us short just because we're in the Southeast. First of all, I think my biggest hurdle with people from the West Coast is either you think North Carolina is some random place stuck in the South on the other side of the country, or your grandmother lives right across from campus and you think it's really pretty and you love it here. So no matter where you are in one of those camps, otherwise, give us a look, and I'm happy to connect you with students from your area. I don't have the emails on me, but can connect you with students that can tell you what it's like to come to the other side of the country, to a place that you may have not thought, but it's a great place, great community. And just, going back to that community piece and what we're hoping for, and this is for Davidson, but also as you're looking at Davidson to apply, is we want you to be the best version of you. We don't want you to be perfect. We want you to come with all of your skills, your quirks, your knowledge, everything you have, and to bring that to our community. And that's what makes this place so cool, is our students. There's no two the same. And that's my favorite thing about our Davidson students.
Awesome. First off, happy birthday, Eric. Thanks for spending your day with all of us college admission folks. We love that. So at University of Pacific, I think the big thing is hands-on experiential learning built into the curriculum there, but also customizable. So it's yours, right? I think a lot of us in this session have been talking about the customization, the individualization that you can do as a student. And I think if that's the type of school you're looking for, go for it. Find the best fit for you, right? And make sure, all of us have offered our email. We've offered, a current student ambassador. Please take us up on those. If you see a school's coming to your school and you don't recognize the name and you have the time to fit it in your virtual schedule, come visit with us. We would love to chat with you and tell you a little bit more about what all of us have to offer and why we're different, but why you might be a good fit with us. So I think customization and personalization is the big one.
Thank you, Stephanie, for the kind words. I appreciate that. If you take nothing away else about Hamilton College, I think the biggest thing to remember is that the open curriculum is one of many examples that showcases how multifaceted students are on campus. Again, small college, so community is a core tenet to the culture, and students are really looking for community inside the classroom, outside of the classroom. But I think the open curriculum, right, and the breadth and flexibility that allows students to really pursue different endeavors, again, academic endeavors, social endeavors that take you around the world, around the country. I think it's really awesome to see students really upholding Hamilton values and doing that through, oral communication, doing that through alumni network, doing that through different facets on campus. And I think that students are just eager and enthusiastic to be in a space where they can try different things, learn what they love, learn what they don't love, right? That's definitely a big part of the college experience, but being in a space that is safe and that nurtures students throughout each of their semesters on campus.
Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. As you close out, there'll be a quick 5-question survey. So please provide us with some feedback. Sign up for more sessions. There's still 2 hours tonight. And as you can tell, this is a really fun way to learn about different colleges and universities. This was recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/SAIS. Thanks, everyone, and best wishes with your college search. Bye-bye.